Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. Today, we have a WIP Chat. If you do not know what a WIP Chat is, that is when I pull out my current WIP, WIP, which is work in progress, and you can pull out whatever it is that you are working with. It could be an art project. It could be a house project. You can be folding laundry while listening to this. You can be driving. You can be doing household chores, work, whatever it is that you want to be doing. There is no right way or wrong way to WIP and Chat. If you are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Lindsay. I do mainly diamond painting and other crafting related content. I would love for you to like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that fun stuff. Come, hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. My husband just walked in the room, so you may hear him say, hi, husband.
I'm still hitting the switches on that Lolo, girl.
Okay, anyway, have you been here before? Hi, welcome. We're on like a weird energy if we just watched the Super Bowl halftime show, which I guess I'll be talking about more in depth next WIP and Chat. So leave me your thoughts down below. So you may or may not have noticed I started a new WIP. Yay! I finished the Nightmare for Alice from Bella Safina. The post review for that is up. I will link that one up in the eye. I had a lot of thoughts on that, but I'm at that weird point now where I didn't want to do another really big canvas because that was a really large canvas. That was a 70 by 70, and I wanted to do something that was on the smaller side, something that would be fun, and something that would hold me over until the March events begin. I'm not fully committing to any one thing. But there are two different events in March that I would like to try and be able to participate in. So we'll see. Oh, crap. Let's fix that. I just totally lost my train of thought. What's new? Oh, so I am working on Peas and Thank You from artist Howie Green. This is a Sparkle Queen Creations. I am pretty sure that I did an unboxing for this. If I did, I will link that up in the eye. I'm like 99% sure I did an unboxing for this. This is such a cute little kit. If you didn't know, Mitzi, the owner at Sparkle Queen Creations, she does have a couple pieces licensed from Howie Green. Yes, you will see Howie at other shops, but I have never seen another diamond painting company sell this image. This is a super, super cute image. If you don't know what it looks like, here's a little very official. And so I'm just right over here. This is the sad pea right here. Look how cute his little frown is. And then I did some of the bottom of the big pea. You know. Also, why is there not a pea emoji? And, like, I'm talking about, like, pea, like, the food, not urination, in case someone's like, what? Sorry, I'm going to move a few things around on my desk. If you guys see me using a bunch of different pens, yes, I am. If you have any questions about any of them in particular, just let me know. And I would love to be like, oh, all these people asked me. Nobody asked me. But I'm going to let you know, the reason that I cycle through so many different pens, well, twofold. One is sometimes certain pens feel more comfortable in my hands than others. Or like if I've been using a pen for a while and it's really like gotten really warm from it being in my hand, I will sometimes switch out to another one just to like refresh. But, my go-tos are typically, I have a 4, a 7, a 10. I also have bigger ones and smaller ones. Like this is a 3-placer. I like the 3-placer for picking up 2 drills like this, where it's 1, skip 1, and 1, especially for like spots in the background here. But the main reason why you'll see me switch between a small one and a large one is because if I'm using a 10-placer, is this 10? Yeah, 10-placer, and I'm just picking up 1 or 2, then I end up wearing out the wax on the edges, and I find it's easier for me to replace all of the wax than to just put more wax in like the corners, so that's why I do it. I can't tell you why anybody else who uses multiple pens, because I know people are like, oh, you can use a large placer to pick up less pieces, and I will, but like this whole section here is like small confetti, so I'm just using a smaller pen. So to answer the question that literally nobody asked, there you go. So let's talk about the week. How are you guys? I hope that you guys are all well. I am still here, still got some pain in my ear. I see the doctor, I think it's next week, next Monday, something like that. So, like, part of me is like, I hope my ear feels much better than by then, so that I don't have to still be dealing with this ear pain for that many weeks. But then the other part of me is like, but if it magically goes away before I see him, then, like, he's probably not going to care that much to look in my ear. So, I mean, I'm going to make him look in my ear, even if it feels better. Anyway, if you guys are new here, you're probably like, what the F is she talking about? At this point, I had an ear infection, like, 4 weeks ago now. Almost 4 weeks ago. More than 4 weeks ago. 4-ish weeks ago. I don't know. And, my ear still hurts. It's not the same kind of pain, but it hasn't gone away. It just varies in severity, I guess. So, anyway, Monday, I set an alarm on my phone, and I use an app called Alarm Clock Extreme. I've been using this on my phone for years and years and years. It's one of those ones that you can, like, you can set it to do a math problem if you want, which, like, I'm not about that life. I just want to hit snooze and hit snooze. But I set it, and the reason I like that alarm clock versus any other alarm clock that I've used is that the volume gets louder and louder and louder. Because some of the ones that are, like, built in, they just, like, ring at the same tone, and if I don't hear it, I'm not going to hear it while it's still ringing. Anyway, so, it didn't go off, and I set my alarm for, like, an hour before the alarm that my husband and I both use in the room. We set one on our Google Mini or Google Home or whatever it's called, and then the other one I set on my phone, and I always set one earlier so that I can get up and take a shower, on mornings that I'm like, okay, I need to take a shower. I am definitely team morning shower. I know there are a lot of people out there who are team night shower. I can't get down with that. That's not why you guys are here. So, it doesn't go off. I look at my phone, and it's like, oh, it appears as if your alarms didn't go off. Thank you for telling me that. Thankfully, my husband and I did set, like, that second alarm, so, like, I just scrambled in different ways instead of scrambling. Like, he took care of her morning routine while I took a shower and scrambled to get ready. We had OT and speech that morning, so our speech sessions are in a church. It's not very far from us, but my OT had emailed me and said, hey, I'm going to have 2 students with me, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not comfortable with, like, 3 people entering my house. Like, I'm not super keen on having, like, 1 provider entering my house. Now you want to bring 2 students with you, which I thought was super weird. And, like, we started talking, going back and forth, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess it could be nice for Briar to socialize. And she's like, oh no, these are grad students. And I'm like, oh, well, I certainly don't want 2 college kids in my house, because, like, I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know who they are. So she's asking me if I can see if there's space available at the church that we do speech at. And I'm like, I don't know who you want me to email. Anyway, so they, I guess, figured it out, and there was an evaluation room, which I didn't know. And then my head teacher was like, well, you wouldn't know because you guys got evaluated online. I'm like, that's true. We did, didn't we? But it worked out well because Briar got to work with the one grad student. One, like, worked one-on-one with her, and the other one just kind of sat there, like, kind of creepily in the corner watching. I was like, okay. And then her OT and I chatted while Briar was making a Be Mine Valentine, which was so stinking cute. And I love it. She makes crafts, like, every time she goes to her sessions. OT, it makes sense because they're working on, like, fine motor skills and things like that. Although her fine motor skills are much better, apparently, than they were previously, which, you know, progress. Static. Like, I feel like I want to put more drills in this tray, but I also feel like I'm almost done this section. I'm using the most color, the color that I have the most of in this canvas is 703, which, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Normally a tray like this would be like my 310 tray, but my 310 in this canvas isn't that much. This is a bright green for the grass. I really like it. There is a crap ton of confetti. Like, you can see these big spots here where, like, those are going to be brightly colored spots, but it's like this checkerboardy between, like, this green and the next two greens to give it the dimension. It's exhausting. I am loving the image, and I'm loving how it's coming out, and I love the process of it. But sometimes my brain is just not in the mood to do that level of confetti. You know what I mean? Or you don't, because some people really love confetti. Anyway, so her head teacher, or I'm sorry, her OT and I were chatting, and she wanted us to put together like a calendar with stickers for Briar for pottying, and my husband and I totally spaced that the printer is out of ink, and she ended up bringing us one to her session. And so the time you guys will see this, we've been working for just over a week of her going to actually sit and pee on the toilet, which has been something else. I will tell you, it has exponentially lengthened our morning and nighttime routines. I feel like I need an extra hour in the day because it's taking it away. But she was funny. Like, Briar is starting to understand, and so she knows she gets 1 sticker if she pees, 2 if she poops. She has not pooped on the toilet yet. And if this is not your thing, I'll be over this quick. But it was funny because I said to her, soon you're gonna have to learn how to wipe your own butt. And she just looked at me in like pure disgust and went, yeah. And I wanted to be like, kid, that's how I feel every time I've been wiping your butt for the last 4 years. Like, if you guys hear that in the background, that is my husband's Dremel. Lots of tools in the bat cave. But it was funny. She's a hoot, I'll tell you. She is a hoot. So Tuesday we went skating, per usual, and her one coach, her granddaughter and great-granddaughter joined the class, was at the class. And so Briar got to meet a new friend. They're the same age. And she was super, super shy. And then Briar, like, was chatting with her. And I was like, you can go talk to her if you want. She got all excited. It was super nice for her to have a new little friend. This feels like the week of new little friends. And I'll tell you guys more about that in a little bit. But it was super, super fun. And then, so I live in central Pennsylvania. You don't really need to know the demographics or the geography of it to understand what I'm saying. But there's a river that runs through like the Harrisburg region. It's called the Susquehanna River. Literally anything to the east of it is the east shore. Anything to the west of it is the west shore. And both shores act like the other one is so far away, yet it's literally like just across the river. So, we decided to go get some pizza on the west shore. My husband has been on the mission for finding a good, thin, crispy crust pizza somewhere in-ish our vicinity, which has not really been successful. There's been a lot of, like, mediocre pizza, but no, like, great pizza. So he had read some reviews. He was like, let's try it. And by where we were for her hockey, for her ice skating lessons, it's not that far. So, like, from our house to get there, it would have taken probably another 25 minutes because of where we live. But we were closer to Harrisburg. And it was funny because Briar just kept saying, I want to do something fun, which is literally the thing she says every single day. I want to do something fun today. I want to do something fun today, which is code for I want to go shopping or I want to spend your money. But since we had just implemented the potty chart, all of a sudden she had to use the potty when we left the ice skating rink. All of a sudden she had to use the potty when we were at the pizza restaurant. And, you know, this is a kid who at home, she has her potty seat, she has a stool, like all these things, but not in public. So I'm trying to figure out how to hold her up without like using all of my body weight to hold her up. It's been something else. You guys, it's been a mess. So we went to go get her medicine. Oh, wait a minute. Before that, when she at home, I think we were at home. Yeah, I guess I had to be at home. I'm supposed to get her more involved in, like, the bathroom routines, not just, like, washing her hands and going to the bathroom. So I could have sworn I told her to throw the diaper in the trash. My husband was like, you said to throw it in the toilet. Well, needless to say, my child threw an entire diaper into the toilet. You guys, this is just an indication of, like, do people who have kids that potty train, like, when they're really young, do they have these same kind of, like, dilemmas? Or is it just because I have a sassy toddler? She's not even a toddler anymore. Anyway, so when we went to go get her medicine, and I totally spaced that they close the pharmacy for an hour so that the pharmacists can have lunch. Great. Totally understand that. But I just totally forgot about it. And the day before, I tried to call on her medicine during their lunch break also. And I was like, oh, crap. So then, of course, Briar got all upset because she's like, well, where's my medicine? And I'm like, they're closed. They're not closed. You know, trying to fight with a 4-year-old about life. It's like, all right, kid, I think I know a little bit better than you, but, you know, things like this, like, take her out. She gets so upset about it. But anyway, so we did that. So the big fun thing we did that day was we went to Target because I needed to get a step stool for the bathroom, which it's funny. They have like a couple character ones. These are things that you do not think about before you have children. You're not like, is the kid's decorated step stool going to be high enough that my child can reach the toilet, the sink, the counter, whatever it is that you're using it for? The answer to the question in my house is no. Those single steps that have like Peppa Pig on it, no, they are not tall enough. The 2-step step stool, the super boring all white step stool with gray rubber on it, that's what we got. And that is barely tall enough. Like she... to watch her climb all the way onto the toilet and then off the toilet, even with the step stool, might be the funniest thing. And then she can get up to the sink now a little bit more easily, but she's a hoot. Like, I think I've mentioned this before, that our house is just not built for like toddlers and small children, because they have, like, our bathroom and Briar's bathroom both have dual sinks and a flat counter. So that's great. She can get up right to them with the step stool. And they have the faucets that are like the handles that you pull towards yourself, not the knobby ones. And so she can reach those to turn on and off with the step stool. Without the step stool, we're SOL. But the bathroom downstairs that we use when we're all downstairs has like a really deep basin sink. So even with a step stool, because the way it's like so far and deep that like she can't get up on it enough, and if she pulls the step stool too close to it, then she's like basically like rib cage up against the sink. And then the one in the kitchen is great because it has one of those like extendable heads. I don't know what you call them. The faucets that you can like pull off. I feel like I'm not describing this well. I'll just put a picture here if I can. But so those are great because we can pull that out further so she can wash her hands without like trying to climb into the sink. It's a mess. My mom's like, why don't you redo the bathroom? And I'm like, it's a powder room. Like, I really don't want to spend the money to redo the bathroom. But it's definitely going to be a hassle. Like, even once she's fully potty trained, just because it's not meant for a child her size at all. It sucks. It totally sucks. And again, these are obviously things the builder didn't think about, but these are things I had no idea about before I had her. Shoot, I didn't even know about these things when I did have her. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, we went to Target, and then she got real upset real quick because she was like, well, we're here. Can't you buy me the toys that I'm asking for? No, chick. You're not getting toys. I want them. So we had a lovely conversation. We got her a book, like an activity book. And she started throwing a tantrum, and she was like, I don't want this. And I'm like, okay, well, your choice is this or absolutely nothing. You can choose. I'm not going to force you to choose. You can pick one of those two things that I'm mentioning to you. But then after that, that's it. And it was a lot of like having to help her regulate and calm down. And I was like, Briar, you have 3 seconds to make this decision, or mommy and daddy are not getting this for you at all. And of course, we ended up getting her the book, which, you know, it is what it is. But I told her, you got to stop asking mommy and daddy to go do something fun, and then your idea of something fun is going shopping and having us buy you something. You have more than enough toys. No, I don't. She has so many toys, you guys. We have boxes just in our garage of toys that we've had to take out of the house because there's not enough room for them, and we have no storage for them inside the house. Yeah, a lot of toys. So, she finally calmed down, and then she said, I want the real Taco Bell for dinner. And we're like, okay. We pull up to the parking lot. You guys, I have not seen it this full in a very, very long time. Like, we're talking the entire front parking lot and side parking lot were full, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good, my friend. Which, in case you weren't sure, set another tantrum off, because God forbid the thing she wants to do isn't the thing that's able to be done because of circumstances outside of our control. But try explaining that. Try explaining that to a small child, and she's like, no. But I want to eat here. And I'm like, I know you want to eat here, sweetheart, but that's not how it works. So, luckily enough for us, literally in the parking lot, like behind it, is a Ruby Tuesdays. You know, not necessarily my husband's and my number one choice for a place to go, but we went. And I'm actually really glad we did, because Briar was such a hoot. Like, I am surprised that she didn't get a name tag when we walked out of there. You guys, she watched every employee's every single move and like commented on everything. And like the one guy was bussing the tables, and she kept going, you're doing a great job. And he's like, is she talking to me? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, Briar, you got to speak up so they can hear you. I'm like, people love to hear they're doing a great job. And she's like, oh, well, he's doing a good job. What's he going to do with this? Where's he going to put that? What's next? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God. But we sat down, and it was like immediately like somebody just was like, okay, Briar, now it's your show. And like the waitresses that walked by, she was talking to, like, they were seating like a large group of men, and she's like, hey girls. Which, if you weren't sure, not one of them turned around and acknowledged the hey girl coming from the 4-year-old to them, but it was like super funny. I was like, Briar, you can't just say hey girl to anyone that walks by. And she just gave me a look of like, well, why not? Like, what do you mean I can't say hey girl to everyone? But she was a hoot. And so I'm going to throw up a picture here, but I was sitting down and I was like, why are there pies on the wall? And my husband's like, what? And I was like, pies. Why are there pies? And he's like, what? Turns out they were like plates, decorative plates, very large, but from a distance, they looked like giant pumpkin pies on the wall.
Yeah,
but you didn't see them at first, and then you turned around and you're like, oh yeah, okay. But it was funny because like, it really took me a good minute to realize that they were not pies. Now, like, what would the logistics of hanging pies on the wall be? I don't know. I didn't decorate Ruby Tuesday. This video is not brought to you by Ruby Tuesdays in any way, shape, or form, by the way. But it was funny. She was such a hoot. The one waitress was like, we're going to hire her right on the spot. I'm like, do it. Don't threaten me. Go ahead. You know, she was funny. She enjoyed that. And somehow our meal at Ruby Tuesdays was like 8 hours long. It was so long. We didn't end up getting home till... Yeah, I was going to say like 2 hours after her bedtime, hour and a half. She was okay. Like, she wasn't a mess. Usually by that time of the night, she's just a mess. But I think because so many people were like doting on her. And it's interesting because my child is one of those children who, like, around adults is such a little performer. You know, she wants everyone to pay attention to her. She wants everybody to see what she's doing. She wants all eyes on her all the time. Around other kids, she's like so different. And it's because she's around adults all day long, every single day. She's never been in a situation where she's with kids for more than like an hour for music class or ice skating or gymnastics or whatever else she did. But yeah, so Wednesday, we went back to kinder music. It was the start of a new session. We had a really great time. Very small group compared to what it was last session, but she said there are more families that didn't come for whatever reason. And one of the little girls was in our session last time. The other little girl is the same age as Briar. We just really enjoyed it. I love taking her to kinder music. Last session was a little bit more difficult for us because she was the only kid that was over 2.5. And while it's great for her to socialize with peers, you know, there's a huge difference between a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. Sorry, I miscalculated here. And I still miscalculated. I'm a mess. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I don't know why I just whispered that. I'm concentrating in case anyone didn't get that. So, numbers are hard. Not really. I will say, I am pretty impressed with how much I can get done during WIP and Chat usually. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I can't do both things at the same time. Me, I'm like, I get so much more done when I'm talking because I'm not, like, focusing on this as much. Anyway, so kinder music was a good time. And then that's where our good day ended. So every time we leave kinder music, she wants to run around outside. And we let her. Usually we're like, okay, we gotta set a timer. Usually because we're down the street from Dunkin' Donuts, we'll go get a Dunkin'. Although I think we went before this week. But that's not the point of the story. So my husband was like, Briar, can you just not go in the mud? Like, that's all I'm asking you. There's one spot at, like, the base of the tree that was super, super, super muddy. And she refused to. And she got her pants and her boots, like, coated. Not just a little bit of mud. Like, coated with mud. We had to strip her down. It was like, I couldn't get her in the car with her shoes like that. And I went through like a dozen wipes and I was on one shoe and I was like, screw this. Like, I'm not going to ruin. I'm not going to use all of our wipes trying to clean her feet. Like, no, girl. And then of course that quickly turned into, well, I want to go out to eat at a restaurant, which it's always, I want to eat at a restaurant and I want to go do something fun. And the eat at a restaurant thing happens sometimes because of, like, the circumstances of what we're doing. Like, ice skating, it makes sense. Let's go get food after we've ice skated. You know, but I was like, girlfriend, you can't go into a restaurant. Like, no shirt, no shoes, no service, girl. You have no pants, no shoes, and it's wintertime. I can't let you run around in socks and a leotard. Like, no. And from that moment on, it just, like, sparked. She was just pissed off all day long. It was one of those days that I was like, I'm gonna lose my shit completely. I really, like, I kept saying to her, and I still would really like to do this, but not in like a I'm threatening kind of way. I just wanted to, like, go check into a hotel, spend the night alone. And I mean, she was driving both of us nuts. So I was really craving Chinese food that night. And my husband's like, do you want to go pick it up? Or do you want me to go pick it up? And I was like, bye. Bye. See you later. See you in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long it takes. Just turn on the music, like, as loud as it could go. And then a lot of times I forget to turn it back down, but I didn't. It made no difference because the next day I drove the car. So I could have gotten in when all was loud, as opposed to Brian driving the car. Anyway, so that was our Wednesday. Thursday was like a totally lazy day. Those are like the hardest days because we tell her like it's going to be a lazy day. We're not doing anything. And she'll be like, oh, okay. And then like 10 minutes later, like, can we go do something? Can we go XYZ? Insert thing here, you know? And it's like, no, girlfriend, we cannot go do whatever it is you want to do. We're literally just going to sit at home. We're going to watch some Olympics. We're going to hang out. We're just doing nothing. And, which is what we did. And I had a chiropractor appointment. We cleaned the living room. The chiropractor appointment was funny. I was talking to the chiropractor, or the doctor-practor, as Briar calls her. And I had been... Okay, so I like ASMR videos. I don't know if you guys are into them or not. I actually have an ASMR video. I am not an ASMR artist at all. I do not claim to be, but if you have any interest in that, I will link that one up in the eye for you guys. If it's not your thing, cool. If it is your thing, cool. I know it's polarizing. A lot of people are like, what? I don't get it. Other people are like, this is amazing. Not necessarily about my video. I'm rambling. So I have noticed I enjoy watching like massage videos of like other people getting a massage, like a scalp massage, or, you know, like things like that. I really like ASMR Twix. It's a sister duo. One's behind the camera, one's on camera. And they go and have different spa treatments. Well, the one gets spa treatments all over Japan. The videos are in Japanese. And it's just very soothing. I don't know what it is. But I've been watching a lot of the, I'm probably going to butcher it, but the guasha massages. And if you don't know what that is, like it's like with the stones. And you can use them to help, like, if you have a sinus infection, to help drain your face. They're used for a lot of things. Well, I've been Googling the night before, like, where around us does these massages. So I walked into my chiropractor's office, and they had a little card on the desk, and I was like, has this always been here? To which I was told yes. Clearly shows you how observant I am. So my next appointment that I go in, I'm going to have one because ever since I got the virus... like I still feel like my systems haven't fully drained, and that's why I'm dealing with the ear pain. So if I can do something to like help move that along, I will. And it's only like a 10-minute massage. It's not even a massage. I mean, I'm sure it's probably feels good, but the whole point of it for me is to like get things draining like in my face and my sinuses and my jawline and things like that. Because they were like, what part of your body do you want? I'm like, my face? And they apparently can do like whole body ones with that. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I mean, the stones, from what I gather, are like 3-4 inches long. I've never had one, but here I am like Googling online, like where to buy my own sets. Let's just see if it works before I go out and buy my own set, Lindsay. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, that's not for like another month, but I am hoping that that gives me some sort of relief, you know? Sucks. Nobody likes being sick. Nobody likes feeling like they can't get over it. You know what I mean? Like, you ever have a cold and the cold is over, but you still have that lingering cough, or you still have that sinus pain, even though your sinus infection is like seemingly gone and it's like days, weeks later. That's what's going on with me. Look how cute his little face is. Can you guys see it? I'll just tilt you real quick. Like, look at it. I got to put his eyes and his mouth in, but he's so cute. He's so cute. Maybe I should put the 310 out. Yeah, that was a super long tangent. I don't even know how I got on that. Oh, because I was at the chiropractor's office. You guys, let's just pretend I'm not losing my mind as quickly as I think I am. Let's grab some more colors. If you see my arm going across the screen, it's because I'm grabbing more colors. Colors, light the way. That's from Fisher-Price toy. Then my husband and I was talking about this in my last WIP Chat, of which if you guys didn't see my last one, I will link that one for you guys up here as well. We have been on the hunt to find T-ball for her. So, long story short, the town that we live in, the one that they run, you have to be 5 and up. And then the one in the neighboring town is 4 and up, but you have to be a resident. And I'm like, this is frustrating. Definitely thought there was more of that color. There is not. So I had posted in one of the local like Facebook groups for our town or area. And somebody had said there's towns like 25 minutes away that they have a boys club t-ball, and they had emailed and it said it was open for boys and girls. Perfect. Sign me up. So I contacted them. Now, mind you, this is going to be at like 8:30 in the morning on Saturdays, I think they said, which is already like too early for my child to be up and moving. Like, she's up and awake at 8:30, but she sure as hell is not dressed and ready to go out the door at 8:30 in the morning. And especially now that we've added in like a full morning routine, which now, by the way, every single day it has been the same thing. She gets up, pees, washes her hands, brushes her teeth, has to immediately pee again, and then wash her hands. Which I'm like, just empty your belly the first time and we don't have to pee again. And she's like, okay. And then she keeps doing it. So we're learning. We're getting there. It's a skill she has not learned. So, you know, I can't be annoyed by it. I mean, I can be annoyed by it, but I can't like be mad at her by it, you know? Does that make sense? Anyway, so we signed her up for the t-ball. And then they were like, what size shirt does your child need? And what number would be your preference? Brian picked 8 because of the only Cal Ripken Jr. Brian's number 1, like, sports idol of all time. We actually met him many, many years ago. Super, super, super nice guy. If you guys want to hear that story, I could talk about that in another WIP Chat. Because that was quite an interesting story. But the smallest size available was a youth small. Now, mind you, my child is not even 30 pounds, or about 30 pounds. And the smallest size was a youth small. She's like a 3T, maybe a 4T if it's not very long. Because she's skinny, but she's also tall. So I have a feeling that whatever shirt we get is going to end up looking like a dress. I don't have a feeling. I know it's going to end up looking like a dress. Hopefully we get more than one and I can send one to the woman who owns the small shop that we rep for and have her, you know, shrink it up for me and like make it into a usable shirt. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited. And then like they were like, oh, and in order to be a part of the team, you need to volunteer. Which one of these positions do you want to volunteer for? Listen, I've come to the conclusion. I'm a creative person, but I'm not a creative person like on demand for things I don't want to be creative for. Let's put it that way. So like, I don't want to be the class mom. I don't want to be the mom in charge of the snacks. Like, I'm not putting together cute little, like, snack bags. I am not the mom that's going to be baking homemade goods for my kids' bake sale at school. Ooh, that was really hard to say. I am the mom that goes to the supermarket and buys the container of, you know, 2 dozen cookies or whatever it may be. And, like, especially now you have to worry with, like, food allergies and food sensitivities and, like, it's just too much. I also am not going to be the mom that's like, I'm going to make you this really cute 100 days of school outfit, which I didn't know that was a thing. Did you guys do that when you were little, babe? What? The 100 days of school, and then you had like 100 of something on your shirt, or you made yourself look like you were 100 years old? No. Okay. Do you guys do that? Let me know. I've seen other people do it, and it's super creative and super cute, but like I have zero interest in gluing like 100 pom-poms to a shirt. Nah, no thanks. How about this? I'll blink at it 100 times. There you go.
So on the 100th day of school you do that? Is that what it
yes.
is? Okay, yeah, I've never heard of that.
Like, I've seen it where people will dress their kids up, like, basically how you dressed up for Halloween when you were the old man from Up. Yeah. Like, they'll put them in a bow tie and spray paint their hair white and give them a walker, and I'm like, no thanks. So let me know. Do you guys do that? Do you guys enjoy that kind of stuff? Because like I can already tell you, like I'm pre-telling you it's not my thing. Not my thing. Whatever. Maybe Briar will just be like this super creative genius that's like, I got it, Mom. Let me leave it a hot glue gun to my 5-year-old or 6-year-old or however old she'll be for Valentine's Day for school. Anyway, so the next day, Friday was a day, you guys. So we had her head teacher here. We were chatting with her, and I don't even remember what they did, but they had fun. And then we went to a local pizza joint here. There was a restaurant near us that had, in my opinion, the best pizzeria pizza around, and they just closed. Like, I'm sure it wasn't really out of the blue, but it felt out of the blue. And since then, we had been, like, searching for... I'm going to just adjust this. Sorry. This is a double-sided adhesive, in case you guys did not know that. I'm trying to... I don't want to bend the whole thing, but there we go. I just want to move that out of the way. So local pizza joint to replace that. So we had found one we really like. We've been there a bunch of times. Definitely surprised that we had never gone there before the other restaurant closed. Probably because we liked the other restaurant, so we had no reason to go seek out another, like, pizzeria-style pizza. You know, my husband's mission in life is to find the best thin, crispy crust pizza, but, you know, you can look on their menus and see if they don't have that, they don't have that. So there's no point in being like, well, let's try all the pizza around here if, like, they specialize in Neapolitan pizza or if they specialize in deep dish pizza or whatever it is. Anyway, we were there. And the owner's daughter, so there's, like, the dining room, and then there's, like, the back dining room. The back dining room, when we first started coming, they always had it roped off, and we assumed it was because they had their kids back there. Like, you could see them and hear them, and to keep them, you know, from not pestering guests and stuff like that. But she's, like, standing in the doorway between the dining halls, and she's, like, waving at Briar and giving her thumbs up, and I said to Brian, I go, she looks about, I would guess, a year older than Briar. And she comes out and she goes, can she come play with me? And Brian and I just looked at each other and I was like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Her food still had to be cooked. And then you play the worst game ever if you are a parent. I need to wait for things to heat up to cook and then wait for things to cool down so they can eat them. Guys, when does that game end? Because it feels like it's never going to. But anyway, the two of them were back there. They were having, like, the time of their life. And then Briar comes back out, and I let her know, like, look, sweetheart, when lunch comes out, you have to come out here and eat your lunch. But she had asked me, and I said, when you're done, you can go back and play. We were going to take her to go do something fun. Not her idea of fun, although she would have enjoyed herself. But we were going to take her to Chocolate World over at Hershey Park. And my husband's like, do we still want to try? And I'm like, look, let's just let her play. This is socialization. That other little girl clearly needed the socialization as badly as my daughter did. And, like, we were talking to her mom, who, by the way, nobody ever let that little girl be unattended for more than a few minutes. Like, they just kept... She checked on her. Someone else from the kitchen checked on her. Somebody was always going back and checking on her. And she was basically telling us that, like, she has an older one, but when her kids aren't in school, they're there until the restaurant closes. And, you know, that's got to be really hard, especially for a 5-year-old that she's chilling in a restaurant by herself or with her older sister every single day. So she said she does go to preschool. She's there a couple days a week. And then as soon as preschool's over, she comes back and she is in the restaurant. So they had a really sweet time together. They were very, very cute, like very, very cute together. At one point, Briar comes out, like she had just finished eating lunch and she's like, hi, Mommy. I'm like, yes, Briar. And she's like, I have a question. Yes, what's your question? Can I get a snack? And I just looked at her and I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, can I get a snack? And I'm like, girlfriend, you literally just finished eating lunch. We're talking like within 2 minutes of her food being taken off the table, she came out hand in hand with the little girl to ask for a snack. Now, mind you, she got a meal that came with French fries and then she asked for potato chips. I'm like, you know what? knock yourself out, kid. You want potato chips? You're probably not going to eat much of the fries. She didn't. I ate the fries. But go for it, kid. And so I was like, oh, well, do you want to take the chips to the back then? And she's like, yeah. Which she then gifted to the little girl she was playing with, which made me laugh because, like, it's her family's restaurant. So it's not like she's going hungry. I mean, like, she just comes out and goes, Mommy, I'm hungry. And they make her something to eat. But it was very sweet. Briar was like, we played some game with apples. There was an iPad back there. Guys, I don't know what the apples game was, but she had such a blast. And Briar was like, can we see that little girl again? And for some reason, she is having a really hard time remembering her name. I think the thing is she doesn't want to say it and it be wrong and then have us correct her. But I'd rather her attempt it and be wrong and corrected than not attempt it at all, you know? Oh, that was probably appealing. I have less water in there than I thought I did. But it was funny because, like, we've been working with her on what to say when you meet a new friend. And so the first thing I hear Briar say to this little girl is, hi, my name's Briar. What's your name? And even still, like, Briar was still like, like, she was totally like, what? But it was so sweet, you guys. And, like, Brian is, like, putting her in the car seat and he's, like, tearing up. And I'm like, no, don't do that. You know, it's the first time our daughter has independently, like, made a friend. And I said to her mom, I was like, they are more than welcome to play together next time we come back. And she's like, oh, she would love that. Like, when I tell you guys, we're there, that's, like, the local pizza joint we go to if we go somewhere. And it was just lovely. I really enjoyed it. I loved watching her play with another kid. I loved watching her just being, you know, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it was a great moment. It was a wonderful moment. So, we did that. And then, by the way, her lunch was like, she ate half of a cheeseburger, a bunch of fries, a bunch of chips, like half a slice of pizza. So when she asked for more, you guys, I was dying. It's still making me laugh. Like, I was like, my immediate instinct was like, are you serious right now? Am I being punked? Which, like, she doesn't know what that means. She's 4, you know? But they had a great time. And, even if it was just for a short amount of time, I know I could see how much both of them needed that. And, you know, I'm happy we got to do it. So, what else do we do? Let's see. La 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 la. They were so cute. They were giving each other thumbs ups. We set up her T-ball set. You guys, it was 62 degrees, on Friday. Now, mind you, it is Sunday when I'm filming this, and it snowed. So it went from 62 degrees to snow. It wasn't a lot of snow, but there was snow. But we set up her T-ball, and you guys, I think we're going to have a sport to contend with when it comes to ice skating, because she was knocking it out of the park, like, pun intended. She was, and it was so funny because she would hit the ball, and then she would run and go retrieve it and bring it back, and I'm like, I'm right here. Or my husband was right there, you know, like, but she was a hoot. And she was loving it. And it was the first time she really got to play outside in a while because it had been muddy and rainy and gross and, you know, the kind of stuff that's not really conducive to letting your kid play. Unless you're one of those parents. I know there's some parents that are like, let your kids get messy. And I'm like, yeah, but then I have to be the one to clean it all up. Or my husband. Or both of us, because my kid's the kind of kid who will, like, come into the house trekking mud and then go back and touch the mud and rub the mud on the floor, on the walls, on her face, stomp around, roll around, like, somehow, like, you know, I'm not about that life. I am not about that life. I feel like such a buzzkill mom, like, when I'm talking about myself. So, you know, there's that. You know, there's somebody listening to this being like, damn, girl, just let your kid have fun. Or maybe that's you. If it is you, all right, well, I hear you. You gonna come clean up? I'm the same way when it comes to like sensory bins, like messy sensory bins. That is an outdoor activity. I am so sorry, friend. That is an outdoor activity. Because mommy doesn't want to have to clean you up, clean up your high chair, the floor, all that stuff, and then like clean up the trail of rice that inevitably is going to be all over my kitchen because kids are messy. And I'm not like a clean freak. I'm not a germaphobe. I'm not any of that. I mean, a little bit more now, like with the pandemic stuff. Like I'm like, let's use hand sanitizer. But anyway, we got the T-ball set, and that was great. Oh, I don't even remember what day it was. My husband took Briar, must have been Friday. It was Friday, I guess. He had taken her to Michael's with him to go get a tool for sculpting for like polymer clay and stuff like that. And it was funny because he was telling me like she was questioning everything. Like, what's this for? What do you use this for? How do you use this? What's this tool, Daddy? What's this art thing, Daddy? And he said it was sweet. You know, like we didn't really go through that like being questioned about every single thing kind of phase, like, why is the sky blue? What do you mean? Why? We had different kinds of questions from Briar. So it was kind of cool that, like, that's the mood she was in when she was with Daddy. And, mind you, there are certain things that, like, she comes to me for 100% of the time, and then, like, certain things she goes to Daddy for. And, like, she wanted to play catch in the house the other day, and Brian was doing something, and, of course, she needed his attention, because she always needs his attention when he's doing something else. And I said, well, Mommy can play catch with you, and she just looked at me, like, dead in the eye, and she's like, you're not very good at this. Daddy's better at this than you are. And I was like, thanks, kid. And then, of course, she's like, Daddy, can you play catch now? And he's like, I'm still doing something, sweetheart. You know, it's hard when he works from home. Like, she can't tell the difference between, like, Daddy's playing on his phone or Daddy's getting back to a customer. So when she wants his attention, she doesn't understand, like, why she can't have it right then and there. You know? But anyway, so he got her this little dragon. It now matches the other two dragons that she has. And, she informed me that she renamed the dragon, which was, what's the dragon's name? Grindel. She renamed it to Rihanna. Now, I have no idea if this girl even knows who Rihanna is, or where she heard it from, but I was like, all right. It's not like she asked me to call her Riri, you know? Which I would have been like, damn, girl, how do you know who Rihanna is? But, so now she has Rihanna the Dragon to go with Sapphire and Spectra. And I kept calling the dragon the wrong name. That's why I had to ask my husband. Anyway, so Saturday was just like another super lazy day. We literally did nothing. Nothing at all. We had a bath in the morning. We would like to continue to do baths at night, because it's a cool way to, like, help sort of slow her down before bed. But part of the problem is, so my daughter takes medication that has to be taken on an empty stomach. She cannot eat or drink within, like, 15 minutes of it. So, inevitably, anytime she takes her medicine, she's like, I want some water now. And I'm like, you can't have the water now, ma'am. And so doing that with all the other nighttime stuff just was like adding on a ton of time. So, we've done morning baths before, but she's one of those people that's not like hungry in the morning. I don't know why this feels like there is a drill that is not lined up here, and I can't figure out where it is. And so we did the morning bath with her, because while she was doing that, that was wasting time for her medicine. It was killing two birds with one stone. But she's funny. Every morning, gotta get up, gotta pee, wash your hands, brush your teeth. And then she's like, I gotta pee again. I'm like, okay. And then you wash your hands again, and then we take the medicine. And that is it. That is it. I feel like I got a decent amount done. I hope you guys can see that there's lots and lots of confetti on this, but there's also really great opportunities to multi-place. I adore these kits. If you have never done a kit from Sparkle Queen Creations, you should. Mitzi independently runs and operates her entire shop out of her house. She's super talented. A lot of the artwork is her own. If you guys saw the last kit that I did for her, which, if I am not mistaken, was the first kit I did last year after Alice in a Winter Wonderland. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. And I love it. These kits are a double-sided adhesive. I know there are a lot of people out there who are like, I only do poured glue. This is the nicest double-sided adhesive that I have ever worked with. Ever. Hands down, no questions asked. I do not miss poured glue when I work on this. And she is a one-woman team doing this herself. Please go show her love. She currently has some really cool stuff in her shop. Not only does she have diamond paintings, but she has really cool accessories. She was one of the sponsors for Alice in a Winter Wonderland, which, speaking of, if you've made it this far, I promise I'm so far behind. I will have a weeks 4 and 5 recap for the event, and then I will do a final roundup for the last week of the event. I will do some sort of prize giveaway type video. I haven't decided how I'm doing that yet because I'm multitasking with a bunch of different shops and a bunch of different people trying to coordinate everything together. And I don't want to completely overwhelm myself, but I also don't want to make you guys wait for a really long time to see the goodies and see if you've won. But other than that, I got a couple unboxings coming up. I'm hoping that I can get myself back into the swing of things to get to where I am regularly putting out videos outside of my WIP chats, because right now, like, really the only thing that's constant is that I've been getting the WIP chats out as much as possible. But that's all I got for you guys for this one. I hope that you did enjoy it. If you made it all the way to the end, since there's no P emoji, leave me your favorite vegetable emojis. Doesn't have to be your favorite vegetable. It can just be your favorite vegetable emoji. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this, or, you know, nothing like this at all, please make sure to give this video 2 thumbs up. One real life, one virtual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Come, join the Sparkle Squad. And while you're there, hit that notification bell. I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I operate on toddler standard time, and I record when my tiny human is sleeping or sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys!